What do you think are some of the hardest things about working with founders or entrepreneurs? Where do you find the most friction or the most difficulty?
Well, the stereotype of founders is brilliant, aggressive, headstrong, clear, willing to take on risks that nobody else does. That also means often that they have to learn things in their own way. So if you say, by the way, if you do that, it's illegal, they'll say, really? As opposed to, yes. Okay. So sometimes you have to have the patience to let people discover things. In the early months at Google, there was an employee who came in and he said, "I'm going to Japan," and I gave him a lengthy statement about Japan and how I'd been there, and part was boring, and this part was boring, and all of a sudden I realized that he'd never been to Japan, and I had just done him a disservice. So I managed to change my sentence and said, "You're going to have a great time. You're going to have your own experience. You're going to love it." Another example was that there was an email trail where they were debating an HR issue, and I knew the answer. Now, it wasn't critical to the company, and so I decided to see what would happen if I let intelligent people debate the outcome, and they got to the right outcome. So I learned that sometimes when you're sort of the adult in the room, your job is a teaching moment, and sometimes your job is a pressure moment. So I resolved to try to keep things legal and otherwise let the magic happen. And that worked pretty well.